I'm gonna share 10 of my best tips for small creators. These are the tips that are helping me to grow. I've had 5 YouTube channels, and this is the first YouTube channel that I've actually been relatively successful in. So I'm excited to share what I've learned so that you can be successful and YouTube can change your life too. So my first tip is to make sure that you use an account that has been seasoned. YouTube is excellent at searching out whether an account is a spam account or if it's a real account. And the way that they do this is that they take like a 3-month period to look at your YouTube channel and see like what kind of content that you're making. So a lot of people make the mistake of going onto Google and starting a new account from scratch. And though this is a good way to do this, you can also kind of bypass the 3 months rule if you have an account that you're already using. For me, the account that I started this YouTube channel on has been active for anywhere between 3 to 5 years. So YouTube knew that I was a trusted account. So if you want to have your best shot at doing well on YouTube, I recommend that you go ahead and use an account that is already set up and that you've been using for at least 6 months. My next tip for small YouTubers is to just start. I know YouTube can be a very intimidating place and it can feel like there's not a spot for you. But I do want to encourage you that if you feel that way, there is always a spot for new creators. Every creator has their special secret sauce or that thing that makes them different. And if you can find your secret sauce, then you can do well and talk about the same thing that everybody else does. A really good example that I like to bring up is Miranda Sings. I don't really like Miranda Sings, and we already know what happened with that whole thing that she was involved in. But I do want to say that she was a marketing genius. Everybody knew that classic pair of red overdrawn lips. So find your secret sauce and get started today. My next tip is something that I did with all 4 of my other YouTube channels, and each one of them ended up tanking. And that is to not post your YouTube videos on other platforms at first. So it can be really tempting to post a video and then go and post the link on Instagram and Facebook and all of these other places. The problem with this is that when YouTube is trying to find data for your video, they're looking specifically at the YouTube algorithm, and they're trying to figure out what people on YouTube like the kind of content that you're making. And so if you post your content link to Instagram, where people might come into your video and only watch like 3 to 5 seconds of it, it can really ruin your watch time, and you might end up getting recommended people that don't want to watch your whole videos. Or even worse, your videos can just tank and sit at 3 to 5 views. I remember when I first started my first YouTube channel, I would do this and then my videos would never get over 25 views. My next tip about how to succeed on YouTube is to only tell your family and friends about your YouTube channel if they watch the kind of content that you create. This was another mistake that I made, and it really was detrimental to my channel views. I was sharing my YouTube videos on Facebook where a lot of my family was, and at the time I was making, I think, like story time content, and it turns out that that content was not the type of content that my family liked to watch. Unfortunately, they would click on the video, but when they clicked on the video, they quickly realized it wasn't the right content for them, and so a lot of them ended up clicking out. So I would watch my videos, and when they first were on YouTube and I hadn't shared them with anyone, they would have like a 65 to 70% retention rate, which is pretty good. But then as soon as I shared them to YouTube and my other social media platforms, they started getting like retention rates of like 15 or 20, and it was really discouraging to me because YouTube uses their retention rates to figure out whether or not to recommend your video to other people. So do yourself a favor and keep your YouTube channel on the lowdown. My next tip on how to succeed on YouTube as a small creator is to figure out your scripting method. So there's a joke in the writer community that there are 2 types of writers. One of them is a pantser and the other one is a planner. So pantsers usually fly by the seat of the pants. That's how they got that term. And basically they don't really plan out their book. They'll just go and open a Word document and start writing. And then when they come back to edit it, that's when they will start cutting and snipping things. And then the other side of that is the planners. The planners are the people who are going out there drawing out all the charts and making up everything that they need to make so that they can have a well-planned book. I definitely fit more into the planner category, especially when it comes to YouTube videos, but you have to figure out what works for you. One of the benefits of being a pantser is that you can get a lot of really creative ideas, but it also takes 3 times longer in both the editing process and in the process of writing the actual script. My next tip is so important, and it is the difference between you succeeding on YouTube and going far and you being one of the many people who quit early. And that is to not judge your success before either the 6 months mark or the 100 videos mark. So many people make this mistake of looking at their content when they only have 15 to 20 videos out. Your first 100 videos are your experimental stage. That is where you're trying to figure out what type of content you like, what type of content your audience resonates with, and whether or not this is something that you want to continue doing. And I know in the past, I made the mistake of getting up to like 30 or 40 videos, and I felt like I wasn't seeing enough traction, and so I quit. And the reason why I say 100 videos is, one, because every video that you make is sowing a little seed into YouTube. It's like you're going around and you're planting little seeds in your garden. And as you continue to plant more seeds, each one of them is a chance for it to like pop off and grow. And one thing I love about YouTube that's different than any other platform is that you can make a video from like 3 to 6 months ago and it can go viral after the 5th month. So just because a video doesn't go viral right away doesn't mean that it won't go viral. And that is one of the most exciting things about YouTube. So if you're not seeing any traction, just keep going and just keep posting. And the second reason why I said you should wait till 100 videos is because it takes YouTube a long time to figure out what kind of vibe and what kind of topic that you're doing. Make sure you stick to the end, because my 10th topic is all about how to decide if you should niche down or not. And usually it's around that 100 videos mark where you have data open up that's telling you like what's your average viewer, when are they online, and when you can post. And when you know these key things, you can start establishing a posting schedule that really works for your viewership. The next thing that you can do to succeed on YouTube is to experiment with a bunch of different topics. I feel like there's this big pervasive lie going around that when you're starting on YouTube, you need to automatically choose one topic and stick to it. I truly believe that it takes a lot of different trying of things to figure out what you like. It makes me think about my career. Everybody, I feel like, told me that I should be able to like know what career I wanted in college, but it wasn't until I got into the workforce and I tried about 3 to 4 different careers that I finally found the one that resonated with me. And it's always worth the search. So don't be afraid to throw out a gardening video one day and a drawing video another day. The goal when you're starting a YouTube channel is not necessarily to grow fast. It is to figure out what you like. Some signs that you might really love a topic and that it might be worth sticking to is, number 1, the scripting is easy. Scripting is a very tedious process, but if you find that the words are just flowing out of you, that might be a topic you're interested in. Number 2 is if it's something that you research on a daily basis, even when you're not filming content. Like for me, I love pop culture and TV, and I've been wanting to release some other pop culture videos, but my life has been a little crazy lately. And those videos take a lot of time. But when I'm not making YouTube videos, I'm watching videos about pop culture and TV shows like Gilmore Girls and Friends and all of that. So you have to find the thing that you love to research on your free time. And the last thing is that you feel on fire when you're talking about it. If you feel like passion and like you could talk about a subject forever, that is a great sign that you might be on to the topic that you want to focus on. My 8th tip on how to succeed on YouTube as a smaller YouTuber is to ignore get rich quick schemes. So I don't know why, but I keep seeing these videos lately about how YouTube is on easy mode and how to get 1,000 subscribers fast with this thing called DoorDash. I don't even know what DoorDash is, but I keep seeing it, and it really frustrates me because it puts out this narrative that if you download this magical unicorn program, or if you sign up for an $1,500 masterclass, you'll be able to jump to the highest ranks in YouTube. And while it's true that these things might be helpful and might give you tips, the real truth is that the only way to succeed on YouTube is to keep going. If you post one video and you never post again, there is very little chance that you're gonna go viral. I know some people are like, yeah, I post once a month and my channel is doing fantastic. And what most people don't say about that is these people probably already had some type of existing audience, or they're in the animation category, which I respect animators so much because their videos take like 3 to 5 times the amount of time that my video or any other people's like talking head videos would take. But unless you're in those like 1 or 2 few categories that take that long to post, I recommend that you just go for consistency. Start with 1 video every single week, go up to 2, go up to 3, and then decide like what is the purpose of your YouTube channel. I made such a big mistake with my past YouTube channels because I would post really good like 3 or 4 videos in a week, and then I would take off 3 months. By the time I came back, my viewership was dead and nobody was even thinking about me anymore. It's better to do 1 video consistently every week than it is to do multiple videos sporadically, because then when it's sporadic, nobody's going to be able to follow you. Number 9 is my absolute favorite tip to grow on YouTube as a small YouTuber, and that is to comment on other YouTubers' channels. Now, I used to make a mistake with this when I was like doing my other channels, because I would comment things like sub for sub, or I would comment like check out my channel, or like just things that were not quite authentic. People can tell right away whether you're authentic or not. And a lot of times you don't even have to advertise your channel. Like if you make a really good, juicy comment, the person will click on your profile picture and see what kind of content that you make. And so it is really fun to build community. And I recommend that you do this in the community that you're in. So for example, if you make beauty content, go to like some of the top beauty YouTubers and find some of their like commenters and go in and like respond to some of the comments. Be part of the conversation. YouTube really likes to see that their creators are active on the platform. And not only that, it really helps you with your research so that you can create new and fresh videos. Before I tell you the last tip you should follow to succeed on YouTube as a small YouTuber, please go ahead and go down to the description box and describe. You are on the In My 20s Diary YouTube channel. We make weekly videos about the intersection between ADHD, Christianity, and singleness. So if that is something that you like, or if you like content about how to survive your 20s, go ahead and give this video a big fat like and press that subscribe button down below. And now on to number 10. So number 10 is about how to decide if you should niche down on your YouTube channel or if you should do a topic YouTube channel. So a niche YouTube channel is one where they choose one topic and talk about it the whole time. An example of that would have been people who do makeup and beauty. That is the main thing they focus on. So everything in the beauty industry, whether that's hauls, new products, get ready with me's, skincare routines, that type of thing. These are really cool because they grow really fast, but they also do pose some risks, what I will talk about in a minute. And on the other side of the coin, you've got the topic YouTube channel. So a topic YouTube channel is where you have created your average viewer. So your average viewer is going to be the age of this person, what they do for work, what's their ethnicity, and what are the type of things that they like. And then you're gonna make content based on what this ideal viewer would like. So for example, for me, my channel is the In My 20s Diaries, and my channel is for people in their 20s and 30s, mostly women who are Christian, and people who like content about ADHD, singleness, and Christianity. So that is why I have those 4 content pillars, and I try to make every single piece of my content that I make go back to one of those content pillars. And the reason that this works is because it gives you a much broader perspective of things to talk about, and the people who watch your videos are going to be really interested in whatever you create. So here's some pros and cons of niching down versus having a topic YouTube channel. So some pros of niching down are faster growth. You're gonna have an audience that is super interested in that one thing. Like, I know there's a lot of channel out there about woodworking, and those YouTube channels usually have people who are super into woodworking, and they're able to build a big audience and grow because when people come to them, they already know Bill is about woodworking. I don't know why I said the name Bill, but that's the first thing that came to my mind. The second thing is that you're going to have consistent viewership. As long as people are interested in what you are interested in, then you are good to go. One of my favorite YouTube channels, I cannot remember the name, but she makes like a bakery, and her videos are all about like how she runs her bakery and all of that type of stuff. And I love watching her videos because when I go to her, I know I'm getting baking content. The last thing is that you're gonna have less alienation. So alienation of your viewership happens when you make content that maybe one part of your audience doesn't love. So for example, my content pillars are ADHD, singleness, and Christianity. So I might have some viewers that are here for my ADHD content, but they're not necessarily Christian. And so they might feel alienated by some of my videos. And when they subscribe, then they might not watch any of them. And so that can be a really hard thing because it tells YouTube like, I don't know if this video is for this audience. So the biggest con of having a niche down YouTube channel is that you might get burnt out or bored. And that is me as an ADHD girly. I tried to do this. I tried to niche down. I had a YouTube channel one time built all about my college experiences. I got so sick and tired of talking about that. I had a YouTube channel built on like my natural hair, and I got sick of that too. And I recently just realized that like me sticking to one topic on my YouTube channel, one niche, it just doesn't work for me. And it might not work for you either, and that's okay. As you grow and change, you might realize that you lose interest in some of the things that you used to love. Like for me, I used to really be into like eyeliner and like extensive makeup. And now I really like the barefaced look. So if I was making makeup content, then I would not be able to stick with that channel. And I might have to open up a whole new channel because my makeup content doesn't apply to my lifestyle as much anymore. And that's one of the biggest downfalls of niching that I feel like people don't talk about. So what are the pros and cons of making a topic YouTube channel? So the first pro is that there's a lot less burnout. Because you have such a broad range of things that you can talk about, it's really hard to get burnt out on one different thing. Number 2 is an active audience. If you find that ideal viewer that really likes all of the content pillars that you create, which I recommend that you only choose 3 to 4 pillars. More than that, it can be kind of scattered. Then you will find that those people will watch every single one of your videos. So it might take longer for you to get more viewers, but the viewers that you do have are going to want to watch all of your content and engage with it. And engagement is what ads and people who want to place ads are looking for when they come to you. The next thing is that you might have some more ideas that you can get to explore. There's only so many ideas that you can do on woodworking or on ADHD. And unless you are like sitting there and combing through different resources and subscribing to all of these different new things so that you can figure out what's new in your niche, it can be really difficult and hard to find out new content ideas. And that was the biggest struggle that I had when I had a niche down YouTube channel. The last pro is the ability to explore trends. So an example of this is this video I did a little while ago here. It's one of the popular videos on my channel about Cole Sprouse, because he was big a few months ago about his appearance in the Call Her Daddy podcast, where he was smoking openly on camera. And I was able to take that whole scenario and relate it to ADHD, which is one of my content pillars. Some of the cons is that you're definitely gonna grow slower. You might find that it's harder to get subscribers because you have a much smaller pool of people to look into. The next thing is that you might alienate your audience accidentally, and there's actually a setting that you can use to fix this, which I might do a video about this like later on to show you guys like how it actually works, but it has worked for me and helped me out. And the last danger of the topics YouTube channel is that you might not look like an expert. If you're talking about like 3 or 4 different things, people who come to your channel to learn about you from like one specific thing might get frustrated and leave. But the best part is that's okay. So the biggest thing about YouTube to remember as a small YouTuber is not to put too much pressure on yourself. YouTube is very much a long game, and you gotta take your time to find your unique sparkle. So that was today's video on how YouTube changed my life with less than 500 subscribers, and then 10 tips that you can use as a small YouTuber to succeed on YouTube. So if this is helpful, make sure you give this video a big fat like, and go down to the comments below and let me know what was the most helpful part of this video for you today. Anyway, make sure that you watch one of the videos here or here in the card, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.